Guys, what's up? It's Dr. Dan back here in our central hallway in the middle of the office. Our chiropractic side's over here. The gym is over here. This is what I like to refer to as the hallway of enlightenment. We've got 4 awesome chiropractic rooms and a whole bunch of great information posted on the walls so that when you come through here, one of our providers is going to kind of take you for a little walk and show you some pictures about how the body is aligned and how things are connected so that you can understand why it is so important to, number one, become aware of your balance and your symmetry within your body. What do we do here? We are, number one, chiropractors. And number 2, we teach movement and performance training. So a lot of rehabilitative care for blown out knees and bad backs and headaches and just general aches and pains that you might have, or maybe severe injury. So down this hallway, we're going to talk today about walking tips, simple things to do to improve your low back, your legs, and all of the muscle symmetry that occurs from the foot the whole way up to the toes and the nose. All right. Number 1, as you'll see on all of our videos and throughout the clinic, we've got a lot of pictures about alignment of the feet. And the alignment of the feet matters because these 2 things right here, these legs, they're called your columns. And if we want the columns to be balanced, we've got to line the feet up, straight feet forward, big toes in alignment. And what that helps to do is kind of pressurize the hips well and stack the shoulders over top. But if we're standing in a crooked position, which is okay to do for a small amount of time, but if we catch ourselves doing this all the time, if we're brushing our teeth or doing our hair, or if we're in the shower and we're not aware of how out of line our legs are, muscles start to get crooked, pelvis and low back vertebrae start to get a little misaligned, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got this kink and I just can't get out of it, okay? So step number 1, when you come down through the hallway of enlightenment, as well as if you're a new patient, you're gonna hear it. Step number 1, be aware that you are nice, close, straight feet outside edge pressure forward. And the reason for this is to balance out the 600 muscles, 300 on each side, that occur from the spine and move outward, all right? So tip number 2 is to practice hip twisting in 2 different positions that we call the drop-in and the released foot. And when we drop in and release, we've got a foot straight, a knee open, and just a little bit of chest twist over to this side. And if we can practice lightly, loading over on this front leg, that takes some of the weight off this back leg. And this right side, this is called my drop in, this is called my release. So we're practicing step number 2, which is something called a split stance. And we can go through split stance on the left, into the left drop in with a little twist to the left and a little right foot toe in. And why we practice this is because this movement, it starts to help us to really strengthen the left leg muscles and unlock the right hip muscles, right? So point 1, point 2, straight feet outside edge pressure, super important to train yourself throughout the day to just be in alignment. Catch yourself if you're at the sink doing dishes, if you're always out here. This used to be kind of like my dominant stance a little bit, which is no good. And so maybe nowadays I've got to kind of pattern out this a little bit, or definitely put myself back in balance, back into alignment with straight feet outside edge pressure. Number 2, working into right drop in, left release work. And on the right drop in, it's a straight foot with a knee open with a little twist to the right and drop in over to the left. And if we can practice those 2 stances throughout the day, maybe you have a standing desk at work and you just want to kind of pattern out your stance a little bit to help your hips unlock and wiggle around. This is going to help you to get in control of your core muscles and also loosen up your back. But what we want to do then is learn how to kind of flow our walk a little bit. And you guys will see it on every video how we kind of get into this figure 8 type of spiraling movement. And if we crank this figure 8 movement up, we get into this nice little spinal wave power that actually helps us move every joint in our body through a full range of motion. Standing there, straight feet outside edge pressure, is even just good to do one hand up, double knees open, and opposite side like this, right? You might feel, if you practice this, it's really nice to do just in the shower for a little bit, to just practice locking your hands together, flip this way, and then do the opposite and flip this way. And you'll start to feel the myofascial lines that come up into your neck and start to help you unlock some of the vertebrae up in your neck. But from the back, we're gonna show you just, and I'm not perfect yet, but we are working daily in the gym and in the chiropractic office to kind of like improve our walk so that we can get nice and fluid through our hips and through our foot and the whole way down to our plantar fascia. So one of the things that we do in this hallway is we teach clients a little bit how to kind of pivot, and we're going to just work on that from the back. So we're going to call this left drop in and this right drop in. And as we left drop in and right drop in, we might just start to feel how that gives us this little bit of kind of like sway almost, right? And it's just a little bit of a kind of a straight foot outside edge pressure over to this side. And if we can just tighten that up and just walk normally, we're going to feel that our head starts to transfer from front column to front column. And then we've got this beautiful little thing down here that's called a heel flip. And the heel flip is part of the go to movement training where we've got that green dot pressure release. And really what it does, it helps us bring back into our most natural walking style so that we've got fluidity and we've got a nice mobile spine that allows this low back to just move freely, blood to flow freely, cerebrospinal fluid to flow freely, as opposed to if we've got a crooked foot when we walk, we've got a bum leg, and we've got a bad hip, and we've got a bad knee. And how's your alignment? Are you standing crooked or are you standing in line? And that's how simple that it is. So if you've got a foot problem, a knee problem, a hip, a back, wherever your problem's at, rule number one, step number one, straight feet outside edge pressure, and just kind of like practice that. Put your hands down at your side, or even if you want to put them into your pocket, pinch back nice and light, and focus as you walk just on a very light little head over left, head over right, head over left, head over right. And if you get into it, you start to feel a little bit of flow out of your body, as opposed to not thinking about your walking and having a bum leg and a bum knee and a meniscus, right? So all kinds of things mess up our walk. If you sprained your ankle 10 or 20 or 30 years ago, if you've had plantar fasciitis, or if you've had shin splints, or maybe you tweaked your knee 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now you've got a bum lower leg that's gonna alter your gait. And a lot of people, we walk so crooked. I walked so crooked for 33 years of my life until I understood how to kind of put myself back in balance, back into alignment, and that's where we're at nowadays. So if you think that you have a little bit of problem walking, if you have aches, pains, if you've had injury, if you've been in a walking boot, or if you've been taking ibuprofen like crazy because your back hurts or something hurts, please give our office a call. Start to implement some of the procedures that we go through here. And number one, if you're just on the internet somewhere and you're watching this video, start to be aware that you stand straight foot outside edge pressure, almost up off the heels of the feet a little bit, so we can become a better ball of the foot athlete, have better back chain musculature, and overall develop nice, great spinal posture, power, and flexibility throughout the body. So my name is Dr. Dan. It's great to have you here today. Work on your walk, stand with your feet straight outside edge pressure. We'll see you guys later.